In a quiet corner of northern Alabama lies one of the most important landmarks in American music history, Muscle Shoals Sound Studio. Founded in 1969 in Sheffield, just across the river from Muscle Shoals, this humble studio became the birthplace of countless timeless recordings that shaped soul, rock, R&B, and country. Though the studio itself was small and unassuming, the sound that came out of its walls was larger than life, attracting the biggest stars of the era. Muscle Shoals Sound Studio proved that magic could happen far from the industry hubs of New York, Los Angeles, or Nashville. The studio was created by a group of 4 musicians famously known as the Swampers. Barry Beckett, Roger Hawkins, David Hood, and Jimmy Johnson had been the house rhythm section at Fame Studios in Muscle Shoals, but decided to branch out and start their own venture. These 4 men gave Muscle Shoals Sound Studio its identity. Their deep grooves, tight playing, and intuitive feel became the backbone of countless hits, and soon their reputation spread across the globe. The Swampers were so influential that they were even name-checked in Lynyrd Skynyrd's classic Sweet Home Alabama. From its earliest days, Muscle Shoals Sound Studio drew an impressive roster of artists. Aretha Franklin recorded there, unleashing some of the most powerful and soulful performances of her career. The Rolling Stones traveled to Alabama in 1969 and laid down legendary tracks including Brown Sugar, Wild Horses, and You Gotta Move within its walls. For a band that had conquered the world, the intimate setting of Muscle Shoals provided fresh energy and rawness that defined their sound for the new decade. Other legendary figures who recorded at Muscle Shoals Sound Studio include Wilson Pickett, whose fiery vocals blended perfectly with the Swampers' tight playing, and Percy Sledge, who made history with When a Man Loves a Woman. Bob Dylan, Paul Simon, Joe Cocker, Rod Stewart, and Cher all sought out the studio, drawn by its reputation for authenticity and soul. Even country greats such as Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings were inspired by the Muscle Shoals sound. The studio bridged genres effortlessly, proving that what mattered most was feel, not labels. Part of the studio's power was its atmosphere. Unlike massive, impersonal studios in big cities, Muscle Shoals offered simplicity and comfort. Artists felt at ease, able to experiment and connect with the musicians around them. The Swampers' ability to adapt to any style, whether rock, R&B, soul, or country, made the studio a creative playground. That flexibility ensured that no 2 records sounded the same, yet all carried the unmistakable touch of Muscle Shoals. By the 1970s, Muscle Shoals Sound Studio had become a mecca for artists seeking authenticity. It became proof that geography was no barrier to greatness. A small town in Alabama had redefined popular music and put itself on the global map. Though the original 3, 6, and 14 Jackson Highway location closed in 1978, its legacy only grew. The studio later moved to a larger facility and continued to produce music, while the original building was restored and turned into a museum where fans can stand in the same rooms where history was made. Today, Muscle Shoals Sound Studio remains a symbol of creativity, grit, and soul. It represents the idea that music isn't about where you are, but what you bring into the room. For decades, it brought together some of the greatest voices and musicians of all time, producing songs that still resonate today. From Aretha Franklin's gospel-soaked power to the Rolling Stones' raw swagger, Muscle Shoals was the little studio with a sound that could shake the world.